And I hope no one has died from that cold because that was extreme cold for me in particular. But I'm glad I survived it. And I hope there are others who survived it as well. But we're not accustomed to that. Maybe some other people in other countries who like snow and they like to play in the snow and that kind of thing. Well, that's for them, but not for the Bahamas. We like this warm, beautiful climate that we're experiencing today. Thank God for His goodness and for His mercy. See, God has answered prayer, you know. Now, some other things I'm praying for, I got to get answers to them too. So we got to take it as the Lord sends it. Keep praying for God for good things to happen for the Bahamas. You know we have an election coming up, right? Let us pray that the Lord will intervene and give us 41 persons in the House of Assembly who are interested in their constituents, who will sacrifice themselves for their constituents, not persons who have money. I can speak to this money issue because there are some people who believe that a particular personality has money, is successful in his personal career. That's not a criteria for representation, Bahamians. I can give you the example of Pauline Davis. Pauline Davis, very successful athlete, but she has also been an ambassador for the Bahamas. We can see the work of Pauline Davis as an ambassador for this country, helping the Bahamas on the sports scene. After she has come out of active running, her track and field career, she ended up very high with a gold medal. And Pauline Davis Thompson, she's a Thompson now, okay? A stellar performance of a Bahamian woman. What a Bahamian woman can achieve. And she's very humble and very submissive with that. She doesn't go around bragging about this and bragging about that. You can see the distinction between Pauline Davis Thompson's personal achievements as well as her national achievements. But you say that about all these other people who want to be representative in the House of Assembly? You can't say that about them. Her accomplishments are very distinct, Bahamians. She's on the scene now helping the Bahamas to have an impact all over the world in track and field. That's what Pauline Davis Thompson is doing. She is helping her fellow citizens to advance. This is a wonderful thing. Now, how many of us are doing that? And she's not asking for any personal achievement, you know. She's not looking for any benefits as far as that is concerned. She is an outstanding athlete, gone to the very top, gold medalist. And she capped off her career with being a gold medalist at the Olympics and at other events. So she's a woman of excellent achievement and has a strong reputation on the international scene representing the Bahamas. Now, that is the kind of example we need. And then I'm going to talk about the father of the nation, Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinley. You can see the personal achievements of Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinley as an attorney, as a husband, as a father for his family. You know, he gave up a lot with his own family to serve the Bahamian people. Do you realize that? Sir Lyndon went through a lot to help make the Bahamas what it is today. And we are failing the father of the Bahamas, because we are allowing some things that he has established in his administration to fall apart. Now, we got to catch that, Bahamians. He did a lot of hard work, set up a lot of institutions. We're still benefiting from national insurance today. We're still benefiting from the Defense Force. We're still benefiting from the University of the Bahamas, which was established as a College of the Bahamas. Sir Lyndon and his team achieved many, many firsts. We got to hold on to them, Bahamians, and improve on them, because we haven't had any prime minister coming after him where you can see, maybe with the exception of Mr. Ingram, when he introduced private radio into the country, which is a good thing. That's why you see I'm here on Global. Just imagine if the man didn't do that. You think I'd be at ZNS? Everybody clamoring to go to ZNS? No. You have Global Radio, you have other radio stations, you have other television stations, which provide opportunities for others in the broadcast media. This is a wonderful thing. So we have to appreciate that aspect of Mr. Hubert Ingram, what he did as far as opening up the airwaves, broadcasting. That is a good achievement. That's a national achievement. Of course, he was a lawyer. That's a personal achievement. Let's talk about what the man has done for the benefit of the nation. There is a difference between personal achievements and national achievements. I use those three as examples. I'm talking about them fellas who got their money the wrong way, right? Through illegal means. Now they coming up say they're doing something for the people. You've already robbed the people. You just throw in a couple of dollars back at them. That's not good Bahamians. What kind of crap is that? Let's look at people who have made significant achievements to the Bahamian people. Now, I just named three. Now, you may know of some. All right? But we still have plenty of work to do. I don't know of any major national problems that have been solved over the last 4 years or 5 years. This is the 5th year now for this current administration. If someone could call me today and say, Professor, here are some major problems that the current administration has solved on behalf of the Bahamian people, and these are the benefits that we're enjoying. See, when you look at Celinda's record, we're benefiting from that. When you look at Mr. Ingram's record with broadcasting, we're benefiting from that, Bahamians. That's what I'm talking about. Benefits. If there is something that has been done and the people can benefit from it, praise God. Now look at those others who were prime ministers. See if there's anything that you can tell me on the national level where this is what this particular administration has done, and here are the clear-cut benefits that we are enjoying today. You know, I've been asking that question from 2024, you know. July the 8th, I think it was. No, was it July the 8th? Yeah, July the 8th, 2024. But you ain't able to answer the question. What's wrong with you people? You were not able to say, Professor, here is what this particular individual done. See, I done give you three. Pauline Davis, Mrs. Pauline Davis Thompson, Celinda Oscar Penling, and Mr. Hubert Alexander Ingram. Those three. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but they did some things. And this is what I'm looking for, Bahamians. What has been done with this current administration over the last 5 years? And these are the benefits. Problem solved, these are the benefits. You could look at Celinda's record, problem solved, these are the benefits. You look at Mr. Ingram's record on broadcasting, problem solved, these are the benefits. That's the way it should be, Bahamians. And we have to be objective. It has nothing to do whether you like the person or their party or anything like that. It's nothing to do with the issue. It has to do with a national achievement for the benefit of the Bahamian people, where every living soul can benefit. And because of the opening of a private broadcasting, I happen to be here on Global Radio, 99.5 FM. I got tutelage under Dr. Deborah Bartlett from Jams Radio before I came to Global Radio. And she had a significant impact on my broadcasting career, Dr. Deborah Bartlett. She told me plainly, said, now, Professor, I'm sitting right here next to you. Don't even check for me. That's what the woman told me. So I said, okay, fine. She wanted you to grow and develop as you would without having to fear her. She was my boss. I respect that. And I have the highest regard for Dr. Deborah Bartlett. She opened the door for me at a time when I needed that to be open. And so the thing is that God would put people in your life who will come along to assist you and help you to move along. But you got to wait now. And I still have the letters that went out when I first went international. I got a copy of the letter from prominent people who heard that broadcast and were very impressed by it. So we have Bahamians with talent, we have Bahamians with ability, we have Bahamians with potential. Now, you got some crew. I heard one on the radio yesterday. You have some people who say they are Bahamians, but they're getting mixed up in other people's affairs in other nations. Articles 11 and 12 speaks to that. When a Bahamian citizen takes on rights, freedoms, and privileges that are accorded to nationals of that particular country, you think there's Bahamian. There ain't no Bahamians. Check Articles 11 and 12 of your Constitution. Okay? Let's stop talking foolishness and nonsense. Then the man want to come here and say he should be first in line. Give me a break. He don't think he should go to the back of the line. And some people have been waiting for years. They've been towing the line. So you just come because you've been to a particular country and you supposedly were exposed in some way or another. Then you bring all them funny things over here and say this is the way we should do things. The answer is no. We send people away to learn different things, and then you apply the knowledge to our peculiar situations here in the Commonwealth. I'll bring them funny things over here, because that can't help us. You're just making us a microcosm of somebody else. I don't like that, Bahamians. I never liked that. We need to be creative and find solutions to the peculiar problems. Say, for example, Centerville. Fort Fincastle has some issues that need to be dealt with. Mason's Addition has some other issues that need to be dealt with. There's a distinct difference between Fort Fincastle and Mason's Addition. What fits Mason's Addition doesn't fit Fort Fincastle. And you have pockets of communities in Centerville which need to be dealt with, and don't bring no foreigner in here with no foreign solution to say one size fits all. Give me a break, man. It does not work. It has never worked. We have to get right down to the nitty-gritty and look at these pockets in these particular constituencies and say how best we can help our people to grow, because they're sitting right there in that slump. Okay? We got to get over it, Bahamians. And so when our people get the knowledge, get the understanding, and don't copycat after them other people, man. The worst thing you could do is send a person away to be further exposed, and then he comes back as a copycat. Oh, this is what they did over there. This is what they do over there. But he never stops to say, you know something? Let me take this information, come back home, and look at our situation here in the Bahamas, and how can I utilize this newfound knowledge to create solutions for the Bahamian people. That's what it should be about. What the heck we send you there for? Just to be a copycat? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why you find many of these constituencies have never developed, because we're always looking for a copycat, what somebody else did somewhere else. We're not using our talent and our ability to say, let's look at the nitty-gritty in these communities and see how best we can have the involvement of the people on the ground. You know that? Now, some people are complaining about both parties, you got three major parties now. A political party can only choose one particular personality to send into a particular community for that particular party to be on that party's certificate. That's fine. Now, some people are saying that, what the party's constitution says. Excuse me. You have constituency associations. You have in another party, branches of that particular party in each different constituency. And these numbers are pretty small. It's a small number of persons from a particular constituency. And you may say the branch of that constituency, no, the branch of that particular party in that particular constituency has a view that this particular person will be the best person to put forward as a candidate. And of course, you have meritorious councillors in one party and you have stalwart councillors in another party. Plus you have council representatives along with those stalwarts, along with those meritorious councillors that represents their particular constituencies. And so you have this back and forth as to who should be considered. And let me just give it to you straight, Bahamians. The leadership of a particular party, if they want a particular personality, most likely they will get that particular personality, irrespective of what the constituency association or branch in a particular party may say. It's been happening. All you do is look at the slate right now, and you will see that some people just spring right out of the ground, and bing, they got nomination. They ain't told no party line. So what happened? The evidence is right there in front of you, Bahamians. Be careful of these people who say they are Bahamian, and they ain't no Bahamian because they've taken up rights that apply to persons in that particular country, citizens of that country, as some of our people have done, and they still want to say they're Bahamian. Check Articles 11 and 12. Come on, Bahamians. They disqualify. Because the Constitution of the Bahamas, and I heard someone talking about the Constitution. They only like talk about the Constitution when it's convenient for them. But the Constitution says, no, you cannot have duality of citizenship. That's it. Case closed. So you take on rights pertaining to another country as citizens of that country, automatically disqualify. But you got them kind of people say they want to come back home and say they want to serve the Bahamas. Yeah, any crap like that? And those of you who have been here laboring in the vineyard get pushed aside for these misfits. Talking about they want to save the country. Give me a break. They want to serve their own personal interests. You see that right off the top. They're not being honest. They're not being truthful. Just watch how they move, Bahamians. And they got some people who got money the wrong way, illegal money, by unscrupulous means, and they come forward with this money, and they want to buy a constituency with their money. Is that the kind of representation you want, Bahamians? Because a person may be successful in their business, yes, doing unscrupulous things. You think they can change because they are now your representative? Give me a break, man. That character, that wickedness is so set in them, they are not going to change. We have evidence to prove that that's the way it is. Now, some people can repent. I'm not saying they can't change. But we have a track record. Or we go back to 17 Let me start at House Assembly, 1729. I come up to 2026. You'll see the record, Bahamians. So you got to go and dig deep, man. So I don't get overly excited when I hear these ratified personalities saying they're going to do this, they want to do that, they want to do the next thing. That doesn't move me one bit. Because I asked two questions. What major constituency problems have been solved in that particular constituency? And these are the clear-cut benefits that those constituents are enjoying today as a result of the representation of that particular personality in the House of Assembly. That's what you need to look at, Bahamians. Not whether you like the person. Oh, he got kinky hair. He got bright skin. He got curly hair. That's flesh, Bahamians. That don't mean a crap. Oh, he wear a nice tie. Or he got one nice shirt. Give me a break, man. That's just cloth. You're not supposed to be naked anyhow, so you wear clothes. The point is, Bahamians, if you do not have people with character, as God tells you, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You better have some righteous people in that House of Assembly. We're going to get anywhere in this country. Because if we don't, the dogs will eat our lunch. Okay? See, God has given it to you straight. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All you have to do is look at the record of all of those who are there right now and ask yourself, are those constituents rejoicing? Are they so happy and glad to have that particular personality represent them? And in fact, they're saying, you know, you fellas in these other constituencies, y'all need to come and live with us. Because things are going well over here, extra well. Come out of that constituency and come over here. Do you see that happening? Because Bahamians, when people are rejoicing, they are happy, they're glad, their problems are being solved. I heard someone say crime is down in their particular, crime is down. Now, where is it down in that particular constituency or whether it's down the nation, I don't know. But a particular personality said, crime is down. What does that mean? You had one fella get killed in Grand Bahama, murdered. Then had one fella at Sir Charles Hotel murdered. Come on, man. That's two murders right there. So we better buy two. Two more people get murdered. You know the numbers of murders keep increasing, you know. The numbers never go down. Now, when it stops, you could say there's a stop to it. No more murders. But when a murder is committed, that's another one added to the pile. That's another life lost. Same thing with the accidents. The numbers keep increasing. Because these are live human beings, Bahamians. These are not robots. People who have lost their lives in what are called industrial accidents. I was being out by National Insurance today, and I was well pleased with the service I got at National Insurance. And I said to the particular personality, why can't everybody out here be like you? She said, there's only one of me. So I laughed. But you do have some good people at National Insurance. Let me just put that in with this particular personality who served me today. Very pleasant, very accommodating, because I have been trying to get to someone at National Insurance for weeks, for months. Leave all call all these numbers they gave me. And I didn't get one single call except from this particular personality who helped me out today. And I'm very delighted with that. So, and I told that particular person, I said, now the only other department I could talk about like that is the House of Assembly. They've been very good to me for years. Now I got to check parliamentary registration. They were good to me for years too, but I ain't been there in a little while, and I hear they got some changes in there. I got to go check them out to see how they are. Harrison Thompson, I understand, is the parliamentary commissioner. So you got to see what he's like. Because you had two who were there before, who I knew personally, and had a good rapport with them. And I got very good service. When I needed service from them, I got very good service. Now, I don't know how it is now, because I haven't been there in a couple of years now. So I got to check them out to see whether that's it. But House of Assembly, no problem with them. They're still doing a good work. And I hope that we could get other departments of the government or departments to work like the people in the House of Assembly. Administration in, administration out, they're the same people, giving good quality service to the public. I wish I could say that about a lot of other agencies, but it ain't happening there. They're lousy. Some of them are weightless. They just come to collect a paycheck, but do not provide service for the people. So Bahamians, we've got to get serious, man. Let's pray and ask God to intervene in this upcoming election, because we want to save the country, man. They may not have a country after this general election. You might come into some other problems. We don't want that. You don't want to happen what happened in Venezuela now with a man coming. Take the man. Take him out by force. See any crap like that? And then I heard some news people talking the other day, if they could find someone in the Cuban military to help destabilize the government. See what kind of foolishness they go on with. Because they want a change in the government of Cuba. Let the people do that. Them Cuban people, if they like the way it is, they want Raul Castro to run their thing. Well, then that's fine. We got Mr. Davis there. Now, we could deal with Brother Davis if he goes contrary. We ain't got to let no one come in here to try to take him out or anything like that. We don't want them kind of things, man. You don't want that in the Bahamas. See how beautiful the weather is today? You don't need that. We don't want no destabilization in our country. This is the Commonwealth of Bahamas. I hear the music in the background. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. The lines are open 326-0272-813-0271. We can talk about politics today because, you know, the election fever is on, Bahamians. The election fever is on, and we are going to have an exciting election. Let's pray for safety now. We don't want to run around here doing foolishness and nonsense. We know how to have peaceful transitions from one administration to the next. Now, you may find the party fellows may row with one another, but that's part of the game they play. But we want peaceful transition from one administration to the next. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
This is Lenny Green from The Quiet Storm, inviting you to join me tonight starting at 7 p.m. as I serve you that ear candy that you love, baby. I'm dropping all your favorite slow jams like this.
The sunlight's gone, but the moon's so bright. Oh, I'm about to cruise down my Holland Drive.
To even this.
You show love.
So lock in with me. It's The Quiet Storm, baby. The Bahamas #1 for R&B. It's Global 99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry. All at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pocket now.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's Interest Arrears Waiver Program, available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-80845 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you
The
did.
Perfume Bar has been sipping on designer fragrances, skincare, and cosmetics for over 40 years. We house a wide selection of designer brands such as Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Versace, and so much more. For your shopping convenience, visit any of our locations: Bay Street, Palmdale, Marathon Mall, and our newest location out west in the Old Fort Town Center. Come on in and spray a little happiness only at the Perfume
Why,
Bar.
as Bahamian shoppers know when times are hard and things are tough, it's more sensible and convenient to shop at Y Cares Fashion Center. Y Cares has slashed prices on brand name clothing and shoes by up to 50%, including academics, Clarks, Polo, and hundreds of jeans and dicky pants. And as much as 70% on selected items. Choose from a large selection of beds, sheets, rugs, and towels, all at affordable prices. Y Cares in 3 locations to serve you: Bahama Avenue, Prince Charles, and East Street South near the Sir Charles Hotel. Y Cares, where you can afford to look good.
From South Beach to Bay Street.
I'm pleased, I really dig your company.
It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, you have to be very careful with what people are trying to sell to you in this election campaign, because you're going to get a lot of deceitful things coming at you. People will make all kinds of excuses, and you can see from the language, the way they behave, the way they express themselves, you can see that you're going to have some problems. This is nothing new for me now. This has been going on from 1729, okay? That's the politics of this world. And it's only getting worse. It's at its worst stage in 2026. Just different personalities, but the same rotten carnal nature that God says we have to overcome. Every living human being has carnal nature. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. That's Jeremiah 17:9. You believe what God say. That's what he tell you. He say even the people in the church, 2 Chronicles 7:14. My people have wicked ways. Turn from what? Wicked ways. If God's people got wicked ways, you think the devil's people got better ways? No, they don't. They may be worse off. So this carnal thing that we have, we got to overcome that with God's help, with God's Spirit. And we need to be honest and upfront with people. But you have to pay close attention to what people are saying to you in this election campaign. Scrutinize these candidates and listen to what God says. God says, when they're righteous, you're going to have rejoicing in your constituency. And that's why I'm saying to you, look at what each one of those who are there right now in the 41 seats. Okay. And thank you, Mr. Producer, coming right there. And see what has been happening in that constituency. Where is the rejoicing? What are you happy about, Bahamians? Have your problems been solved? Have your constituency problems been solved? And what are the benefits you're getting? What about the cost of living? Has the cost of living gone down 50% or 25% or 30%? And now you can take the same money you have and buy more things with it? Has your electricity rates gone down? Has your food bill gone down? And you're living a much better life in your particular constituency as a result of that parliamentary representation that you're enjoying today. Those are the things you need to look at, Bahamians. Not what a particular personality may have done in their personal life, with their personal business. That ain't nothing to do with you. They say that's for them. So that's not coming to the constituents. A person who's going to be representing you ought to sacrifice himself or herself for you to benefit. Jesus sacrificed himself. He gave up every single thing. Do you know that? He gave up eternity to come to planet Earth to represent you and me so you and I can have eternal life. He became poor that we could become rich. You know of any representative like that? Who has become poor so the constituents in that constituency could become rich? Have you seen that happen? See, these are things what God says in his word. Are we looking at those things? Do we really want good representation? Do we want problems solved? These are the kind of questions we need to ask ourselves. Stop playing political games. Because God says, my people, Hosea 4:6, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's been happening from 1729 when the House of Assembly opened right on up to 2026. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. You know how many people have gone down since we became an independent nation, hoping for a better day. Listen, these people were hoping for a better day. And they rejoiced when we became an independent nation. When we took on majority rule, January 10, 1967, they were dancing in the streets. They were happy. So what has happened since then? Right on up to now, almost 59 years, not 70. Now, you had a political party that's been around for 70 years, in and out of the House of Assembly, in and out of government. Then the other one, 55 years, in and out of government, in and out of the Senate, in and out of opposition. Just look at the track record, Bahamians. Analyze it. You got to be honest with yourself. If you do not do the C, you got to help your children now. So all these young people in here, I believe you have a call. Mr. Bruce, I come in for the tape. I'll call you live on here. Go ahead, please.
Hey, good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, Bahamas.
Yeah,
Professor, I think I got one man. But I know who do it, but I can't say they move him. They move the gentleman and they make him a judge. But he was a good lawyer. Professor, he made this law.
Wait, hold on. Now, what you say is a good lawyer? What do you mean?
I can tell you the law. He made the law, but he was under Attorney General.
Oh,
I know. So we can put the law. I know he do it. I ain't see him.
No, but hold on now. You said the particular personality was an Attorney General.
He was a lawyer working under the Attorney General.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, but I know he make this law. And Professor, listen here.
Yeah.
You could add this to your thing when you talk. Nobody and this heaven fair could call us Bahamians corrupt. You know why? Because we got the Drug Dealers Act 2002.
I think you did mention that, yeah.
You said something, Professor?
No, I said you did. Did you mention that before, right?
Oh yeah, I always
Yeah,
mention it.
yeah,
It's my
yeah.
favorite law. Listen, Professor, you could put this on. You could put this on
Mr.
politicians.
Producer,
You could put this on pastors. You could put this on anyone. See, Professor, you know what this? See me that say it like that, right? This is what you ain't wait for. You ain't supposed to have.
I
That's
agree
why
with
you
that.
see them trying to change this. This
Yes.
said, if you ain't wait for it and you have it, it belongs to the government. But see, they play like they ain't know this.
I want my producer to write that information down
Let me
for
say
me.
it one more time, Professor.
Take it slow. Don't go
they
too
play like
fast.
they ain't know this.
Caller, don't go too fast because this information is important.
We say it slow.
Yeah, say it slow so my producer could get it for me.
The Dangerous Drug Dealing Act, 2002.
Okay, the Dangerous Drug Dealing Act, 2002.
Yes. They
Right.
they play like they know that. And Professor, that's what I find that on. I find that when I looking doing research on what the people could talk, when I said this before, when
Right.
you get inside the house, when you don't mind them talking all kind of things, when you get inside the house, you sign the oath of secrecy. No matter what you see, you can see the parliament going lone goal. You can't talk nothing about that. So don't mind them talking of craziness. I said that before. Now, Professor, let me finish with this one.
Okay.
See, nobody could say the Bahamas corrupt. Now, here what you know is what you can prove in a court of law. If you can say, well, I make it extra money and you take that corruption unit, and if they put that on me and they show me I getting money what I ain't work for, it belongs to the government. Professor, I ain't getting no further than that. I can leave that one right there.
Okay.
Okay, have a
All
blessed
right,
day.
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you agree with him? Because I know the word corruption is used so loosely in this country, and people have said, some things about the government, and they use the word corrupt. I don't use it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't use it, but a lot of people use it very loosely. And I agree with the caller that you have to prove whether a person has done something contrary to law, and that's how the system operates. But I know we got some people who got things but don't belong to them. They never worked for it. How did they get it? God's word talks about stealing. You shall not steal. You shall not have something that doesn't belong to you. Okay, but that's the way it is. But the Dangerous Drug Dealing Act of 2002, I think he said. I have to get a copy of that so I could study that. But Bahamians, you see, in addition to constitutional law, I have to study these acts that have been passed in the House of Assembly and in the Senate. They say they make it law. But Article 2 of the Constitution says any other law that is inconsistent with this Constitution. See, that's where I always start. Any other law that is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail. So right off the top, Constitution is at the top. There's no law that could supersede it. This Constitution shall be, and the other law, now see, but the other law, it might have some things in it that might not be inconsistent. That is still law. Okay? To the extent of its inconsistency, meaning it goes contrary to the Constitution, is null and void. Meaning just throw it in the garbage. Forget about it. That's just the way it is. So the Constitution always reigns supreme. But there are some people who don't know constitutional law, so they can't really handle it. So they pass a lot of these acts. And you notice how the government, well, let's say the Parliament makes laws for the peace. Well, they ought to. Now, whether they're doing it, that's another kettle of fish. But the Constitution says Parliament may make laws for the peace, order, good government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Are we getting that, Bahamians? Where's the peace? With all these funny things happening around here. Where's the peace? Where is the order? Where is the good government? With all these scandals and all of this corrupt talk, and this one doing this and that one doing that, this one being charged before the court, next one being charged before the court. And then the international community scrutinizing us and using terms, your government is corrupt. Your leaders are corrupt. It puts a bad shadow over all the country. when people use terminologies like that. They say all of us are corrupt. And that's not a good feeling to be in. I can have my producer play this tape. Now, this tape is a tape with Mr. Rick Fox. You know, Rick Fox, he has done some things in basketball, personal achievements now. They're not national achievements. What he has done, as far as I know, personal achievement. Personal achievements are not national achievements. Let me make that very clear. A person can be very successful in his career, fine. I don't have a problem with that. When it comes to doing something for the nation, and I gave you 3 examples already, so Lyndon Oscar Pindling, Pauline Davis Thompson, and Hubert Alexander Ingram, where you can see the distinct difference between personal achievements and national achievements. Can you see this? And these are the people who say they won't be representatives or who are now representatives. Where do you see the distinction? You have to draw the line. There's another personality who is now deceased. He was famous in another place. But the particular personality was said to have achieved for the Bahamas. Nothing was achieved for the Bahamas. What that personality did was personal achievement. As far as this fellow again here, these are personal achievements. They're nothing to do with no nation. I have nothing against an individual being successful personally. That's personal. Ain't nothing to do with no nation. Play the tape, Mr. Producer.
Well, I think this is helpful for us to discuss in that resignation as an ambassador, you're giving a 3-year contract. And in order to continue with that contract, you extend it. I never extended that contract.
So you're no longer an ambassador?
I've never extended my contract. I've always been an ambassador. I've always been an ambassador. That's how I move through life. Whenever I go anywhere in the world as a Bahamian, I represent the people of the Bahamas because I care about my family. I care about the community I grew up in. I care about this island and this country. And I always carry myself that way, as an example of what we are, what we all can be, right? And so I was honored to be, by the Prime Minister, to be offered the ambassador-at-large position. I served that for 3 years, respectfully, did the job that he'd asked me to do. I just didn't extend it. So, at that point, we moved in separate ways.
What the heck does he mean he didn't extend? What kind of crap is that? Did you hear that, Bahamians? He didn't extend it. If the governor of the Bahamas appoints you to a position as an ambassador, they're the ones who have to extend it, not you. What kind of nonsense is that? He was asked point blank about his position now. He didn't answer the question. You see, I have a problem with people like that who wants to be, well, the particular personality, I think it's Garden Hills. Is it Garden Hills that he's supposed to be running? That's my understanding. He's supposed to be running for the Free National Movement. And the thing is, see, we got to be careful of these persons who are outside of this country, because there's another one, outside this country, who is involved in another nation in the political exercise of that particular country, taking on rights that occur only to citizens of that country. Check Article 11 and 12 of your Constitution, Bahamians. We do not support duality of citizenship. That's in your Constitution. And I have a serious problem with people who violate the Constitution of this country. So here he's saying that he didn't extend it. What kind of crap is that? The government of the Bahamas will appoint you to an ambassadorial position, and they have to do the extending of it, not you. Now, he's saying he's always been an ambassador for the Bahamas. I don't know nothing about that. He might have been an ambassador for his family, might have been an ambassador for his business, but not for the country. Come on, Bahamians. We got to get this thing right. If the government of the Bahamas appoints you as an ambassador in an official position, you represent who? The government of the Bahamas. If he's an ambassador for Fox family, then he represents the Fox family, not the Bahamas. If he's an ambassador for his business, then he represents his business. Come on, Bahamians, what kind of crap is this? And everybody could jump up and say there's an ambassador. Give me a break, man. You see how this thing get all twisted and all mixed up? I've always been an ambassador. Give me a break. There's no such nonsense as you extending anything. The government of the Bahamas, once it's up, they have to say, well, okay, we'll extend it. That's where it comes from, not you extending it. But what kind of nonsense is this? I take offense to that. Serious offense to that. Because you disrespect the government. And while the person may resign, give it up, go elsewhere, you have a clear relationship, fine. No problem with that, because people could change their mind and fall off the roof or whatever. Okay? But don't talk me no crap about you didn't extend it. Give me a break, man. Then he must be the government. Who he could work with. See, another thing, I have a problem with that. This man just come. How long has he been a member of the Free National Movement? How long? You know how many people in that party have been waiting for a nomination? And here is this particular personality. I think he's running in Garden Hills. Because we got another tape on him. And the thing is, did he just come? So how do you think those are the F&Ms who've been waiting in line wanting a nomination? Slave and sweat for the F&M party. And here's a fella. Have a couple of talks with the leader of the party for a couple of months or a couple of weeks. How long has he been a member of that party? What has he contributed to the Free National Movement Party? Mr. Bruce, have the other tape ready? Okay, just give me a moment. I want to comment on this crap that this man is talking. The point is, Bahamians, listen carefully to what these people are saying to you. How do other F&Ms feel? That here is this man just walks right in. Hey, presto, he gets a nomination. Say running in Garden Hills. Is the party being fair to the others who have worked hard and sacrificed for that Free National Movement? See, if it wasn't no F&M party, he won't be able to get the nomination. But the man comes and walks over all them people. Just look at it, Bahamians. And now they say he got nomination. Come on, Bahamians. Is that fair? Yes or no? That's why people are very upset. And of course, on the other side, the other party, there's something else happening over there too. We're going to look at that. Is it fair for someone just out of the clear blue gets a nomination? And nominations are very important to people now. Everybody wants a nomination to run in the election for their particular party, and you can't blame them. But this one waltzed in. The crap talk he had prior to him getting the nomination. Still talking foolishness and nonsense. You didn't extend it. Give me a break, man. What kind of nonsense is that? You're talking to little children, eh? Or some people who can't think for themselves? Come on, Bahamians, we have to do better than that. We can't allow people to keep poking us in our eyes as if we're a bunch of stupid, foolish people. We got sense. Bahamians have sense. We were brought up to have sense. I know I was, I can tell you that. My mom and pa didn't train me to be no fool. So when I hear crap, I know it when I hear the crap. This man is talking a pile of crap. Play the next tape, please, Mr. Producer.
I got to meet a leader one-on-one for a period of time. I met a leader, and I got to know him. And as we went through the last 3 months together, discussing his vision, right? And so why the F&M? I got to meet a leader one-on-one for a period of time. I met a leader, and I got to know him. And as we went through the last 3 months together, discussing his vision, the party's vision, him getting to understand what I'm passionate about, the things I care about, we connected on values, principles, and what this party stands for. And so it made it very easier as we went deeper and deeper, and I started to meet people in the party. In the last month, that galvanized the decision for me to say, if I'm looking for the right team, those individuals that I can align with and fight for and support and facilitate and serve the country with, this is the team I feel is best suited to do that successfully at another level going forward in our country. So why the FNM? Because the FNM is the party that we need to be supporting.
What the heck is he talking about? Is he more important than the Free National Movement Party? Is he there and then the party has to be subservient to him? Just for a month or two, couple of months, he met a leader. Yes, Mr. Pintard is leader of the Free National Movement. He met some people in the party. Who are these people he met? See, what bothers me is we have to be upfront and honest with one another. And I think the party has a responsibility to install, well, they got meritorious councillors. The other party got stalwart councillors. People who have labored in that party. I know of people who have labored in that party. They gave their lives. Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield gave his life for the Free National Movement. He wanted to be prime minister. He never was prime minister. The leader may have a vision. What about the party's vision? You met a leader. But the party, you met certain people in that particular party. And hey presto, he got a nomination. Over a very short period of time. How long has he been a member of the party? Was he a member of that party? Yes or no? When did he sign up to become a member of the Free National Movement? How long has he been in that party? There's just so many questions you got to ask, Bahamians. Be very careful of these people who say they're Bahamian, coming from outside, they did this, they did that. In that other world they're in, because you got another one who was at the University of the Bahamas, formerly COB. And that particular personality is getting involved in political matters in that particular country, running for office, as it is pointed out to citizens, taking on rights that pertain to citizens in that country. And the Constitution of our country says you cannot have duality of citizenship. A lot of us are not thinking about that. But this particular personality don't want to toe line, you know. He ain't want to stand in line. He's too big to toe line. But all these others were towing line, hoping for a nomination. Even in the other party, the PLP party, some people were disappointed because they didn't get the nomination. See, this is what happens when you start picking favorites and not following the standard procedure that should be in place for nominations. Because everyone in the Free National Movement would want to have, who's a member would want to have a nomination. But here's this fellow, just waltz in. Knight in shining armor. How long has he been a member of the Free National Movement? See, these are questions we need to ask, Bahamians. Are our political leaders being fair with us? Who have been supporting the party? People who gave their lives for the Free National Movement. Sacrificed heavily for the Free National Movement. You got some of them right there, right now. And you know, FNM people are very vocal. They may not be subdued like PLB people. Huh? FNM people are very vocal. Now, PLPs, they got little rumblings and things like that, but they're more subdued. They try to hold it together. All right? But Bahamians, this is the kind of crap you're going to be dealing with in 2026. And it doesn't look good. People can get hurt on both sides because there's a lack of integrity, lack of honesty, where your word doesn't mean a crap. It doesn't mean anything, Bahamians. When people mislead you and deceive you and tell you all kinds of talk, this, that, and that. That's why when I hear from these people, it doesn't move me one bit. Because I've heard it from 1967 right on up to now. I know about these people on both sides. You can't fool me. When you open your friggin' mouth, I catch it right away. The foolishness you're going to shoot for. This is Professor Sidney McGraw, Walter Thompson. The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island sale is here, starting at $125 per night, plus taxes and fees for single or double occupancy. Limited inventory is available and blackout date supply. Advanced booking is required, and Comfort Suites is offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on length of stay and redeemable at Crusoe's Restaurant and Splash Pool Bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites receives complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi and free parking. Of course, kids 11 and under stay free in room with a parent and eats free at Crusoe's Restaurant with each paying adult. Go ahead, call 605-6300-363-3680 or WhatsApp 55-SUITE. That's 557-8483. Offer valid through February 28th. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
Cupid, let your arrow go straight to your loved one's heart with a Valentine's Day treat from Windermere Spa. As limited slots are available, book now for Cupid's Arrow at just $173. An enzyme facial, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or just $152, there's the Hugs and Kisses package, a 30-minute stress relief massage, gel manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or at just $345, both of you come and experience a soulmate soiree. A couple's aromatherapy massage, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Gift certificates are available. Or call Harbor Bay at 393-8788 or Caves Village at 327-6135 or 6. It's the exciting Valentine's Day special at Windermere Day Spa. Call
Bella Signature Restaurant and Suites, Soldier Road, just north of Prince Charles Drive, is a Bahamian family-owned business. Rooms are available 24 hours, so you can swing by at any time. And let me tell you about Bella's Signature Restaurant. We got that real Bahamian breakfast. Boiled fish, stewed fish, and Johnny cake. Just like Grammy, still dancing in the kitchen. We're serving up that elevated Bella's Signature flavor all day with lunch, dinner, and signature cocktail. So whether you're craving a morning plate, a late night taste, or you just want to get away, book it at Bella. Contact us at 356-3396 or visit our website, BellaSignatureSuites.net.
Nassau Motor Company knows that finding the right part for your car is important. That's why you can count on us to give you a quality AC Delco part, like maintenance-free batteries for quicker starts and pressure-tested water pumps for years of smooth operation. AC Delco parts are made to strict GM specifications and fit most cars and trucks in the Bahamas. Nassau Motor Company, AC Delco, and you, a winning combination.
Hey, look at my old friend.
Hey, you ever checked out Balfour Consumer Meat Mart on Balfour Ave and Charles Vincent Street?
No. What's so special about it?
Man, everything is fresh. I got all meat you get at some of those other stores. They have 5 different meat packages for every budget, even a 7-day Adventist package.
No, man. You say Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Yeah, man. Plus, fresh produce, great prices, and even items you wouldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah, man. That sounded like my type of place. Sound like Balfour Consumer Meat Mart really doing their thing.
Listen, they are clean, organized, and not staffed. Super friendly. You can even WhatsApp your order to 544-1515 or call 326-4702. And they offer free shipping to the Family Islands.
Now that's what I'm talking about. I have to go check them out today.
Freshness, value, and service. All waiting for you at Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center has launched their online auction website. Now you can browse, cast your bid, and win amazing items like some of these winners.
I just won this blender for $55 on BahamasLiquidation.com. I want this suitcase set for $100 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
And now it's your turn. Simply grab your laptop or smart device and log on to BahamasLiquidation.com. Once you reach the main webpage, click on the My Account option where you can go to register. After filling in the necessary information, hit register and you're good to go. Happy bidding! Please have your credit card on hand as the winning bidder is responsible to pay for the winning items within 30 minutes of the auction closing. The winner must collect the items in store within 24 hours after the auction is closed. Please note that a 3.5% service charge will be added to your winning bid amount at checkout.
I won this HP laptop for $120 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
I won this magic bullet for only $35 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
Bahamas Liquidation Auction Center,
where you say hello to goodbye.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and Global Radio 99.5FM.com. Express yourself.
Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, this is going to be a critical year for the Bahamian people. We want fair elections. We want to see honesty and integrity, and the people have to demand it. If you don't demand it, it ain't gonna happen, you know. But if you just sit back and allow people to throw a bunch of crap on you, they'll do it. It has been happening for too long, and you need to stand up against it. If you want better representation, then you tell your representative, who is representing you now, that you want to see improvement. I told my representative when I saw him last Saturday, and I spoke to him. And he said they heard the comments that I made. And not only him, but all them other fellas he got around him heard the same thing. I try to be honest and upfront with people. Okay, Amos, that's the way you have to be. Stop being nitty and picky and not being truthful. You cannot build a country with lies. You cannot build a country with people telling mistruths. That's not going to work, Bahamians. People will continue to die as a result of serious omissions by personalities you send to represent you in the House of Assembly and in the Senate and in other key positions in this country. Because they're not being straight with you. You're paying these people now. Here's what you're doing. You're paying these people good money to represent you. And we should get the benefits. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller, you there?
Hello, Professor Thompson.
Yes, sir. What'd you say?
This is Kenneth Hanna from Freeport, Bahama. Okay. My rights been violated yesterday, last week, ever since I've been here from 2007. And I need you to help me, Professor Thompson, under my constitutional rights, sir.
Okay. All right, leave your name and number with the producer. I'll call you
I can't
after
hear
the
you,
show.
sir.
No, leave your name and number with the producer. I'll call you after the show.
No, I wanna talk to you right now
No.
situation.
No, hold on. Now, don't do what I said to you. Leave your name and number with the producer. I'll call you after the show. That is a personal thing, and I'll call you. Let's get on with national issues. But I don't want to take up valuable airtime to discuss a personal matter. I think that's not fair to the audience. Audience, it's important that we have an objective view on issues that affect people, and we haven't been paying attention to a lot of things in this country, and people are hurting very badly. I'm very disappointed that the suicide rate is increasing, and the Bahamians ain't supposed to be committing no suicide. Suicide is not in the psyche of the Bahamian people. Do you know that? Now, what has caused it? If some Bahamians are committing suicide, or some people purporting to be Bahamian, now that's a different kettle of fish. All my lifetime, I've never known of any Bahamians who commit suicide. I went through 7 generations of my own family on both sides. There's no evidence of it. So what do you want me to do? It wasn't until the doctor in Grand Bahama came on the air and pointed out some things to me. And I understand the frustration levels It is unconstitutional to be frustrated because the Constitution says no man, woman, or child shall ever have their lives frustrated by deprivation. You're being deprived of something which contributes to frustration. You ain't supposed to have 1 second of frustration from July the 10th, 1973. And every time any agency of the government frustrates you by depriving you of something that you rightfully deserve and ought to have, that's unconstitutional. You can understand how serious this Constitution is. You are to be protected against frustration. And frustration is a serious thing. I get frustrated myself. And I'm working to try and break it off once and for all. And sometimes it's not easy. But the thing is, you have to stand up and fight. You just can't roll over and die, Bahamians. Our country is too important to just roll over and just give it over to people who should not have it. The lines are open, 3260271, 3260272. Let me make sure I get the numbers right. 813-027. Bahamians want to hear from you. This is a political season. We have some people who want to run, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's allowed under the Constitution. But you have to exercise caution and restraint of the people you choose to be your next representative. Because we've been hearing some things, and people have been complaining, even after agreements have been signed. Do you know that? Even though the fellas sit around the table, say they have a meeting, and sign on the dotted line. And yet, for some reason or another, either one or two parties, as the case may be, just flatly refuse to carry out their part of the bargain. And that causes problems when you do not carry out what you should be carrying out. Very serious problems. So we have to look at ourselves, Bahamians, and ask some very tough questions. What is it do we want from a representative? What is it do we want from a government? What are your expectations for the future of this country? What do you want to see happen? Are you organized to make those things happen? Because some of you just sit back and you don't contribute anything to help change things in your country. You don't do it. And so things get deteriorated and get worse. That's what happens. No improvement. So we have to see improvement, Bahamians. We've come too far. We've come thus far by faith. And we're going to be challenged. We're going to be tested. We're going to be tried, seriously tried, like we've never been tried before. And we have to pass the test because we're trusting in God to pull us through. So it's most important that you ask the right questions. I believe the media doesn't ask the right questions, you know. I listen to some of the things they say, and I say, why are they asking a question like that? You have to hit the nail on the head, Bahamians. Don't tap it. Hit it right on the head and drive it into the wood, wherever you're nailing the thing. And be serious about it. Because you want to see progress in your country. That is extremely important. So you can't just sit back and let things happen. Now, let me just talk about this, because some people were talking about the fact that for the last 20-something years, we have seen the shifting of administrations from 1992 to 2026. some 20-something years. And you've seen the Bahamian voter. Why has the Bahamian voter done what it has done? And every time on an election, someone gets a massive landslide of seats. And the opposition have a couple of seats. Let's look at the last two then. The one before this last one, 35 and 4. At 39 seats. The Free National Movement got 35 seats under Mr. Hubert Minnis. 35! It's during the pandemic now. But he said he saw some headwinds. I don't know what kind of headwinds he's looking at, but that's what the man tells me. And he decided to call an early election some 8 months early. And I know some of those people were vexed with him because they wasn't getting no money. There's a man called an election. And so the election was called. Mr. Minnis, when he went to the polls the first time, he got 35 and 4. Christie was the prime minister before him. Now, in the last election, the people did something different. The voters gave the PLP 32 seats, 7 for the FNM. Now, Bahamians, we need to think about this. Ask ourselves, what is it the voters are saying? What are they saying? There must be some massive dissatisfaction with the two major parties. There has to be 35 and 4. You had in the last one 32 and 7. I mean, a complete reversal. So what is the electorate saying? And Famous, I need you to call in and explain that to me. What do you think the electorate, what are you saying? Because you're the electorate. Why did you do that? Why did you give this party 35 out of 39 seats? And then the next time, the one who won the 4 seats, in the next election, 32. And the one who had 35 got 7. So what are we saying? That needs some deep thinking, Bahamians. Because obviously there is tremendous dissatisfaction when you look at the evidence. There has to be. Now, why? Why is that so? And that's what I want you to call in and speak to, because we have to look at these things objectively. We have to be honest and upfront with ourselves, because if we don't, we lie to ourselves and mislead ourselves, we can continue to catch trouble. We have to find out why, what is happening. What does the electorate say? But we see the results. So no one particular party could say they didn't have the opportunity to change things. You had all this opportunity to change. Any law that is not in the best interest of the Bahamians, they could change that within their time, their 5-year span as the government of the Bahamas. Nothing stopping them from doing it. They can't say they didn't have the votes. You had the votes. You had 35 out of 39. You have 32 out of 39. So you have no excuse to say you don't have it, Bahamians. This is hardcore evidence staring you right in your face. And so we need to look at the two parties, 55 on the one hand, in and out of the House of Assembly, in and out of the Senate, in opposition, and in government. The other one, 70 years. 70 consecutive years They've been in the House of Assembly, that's the PLP party, who had seats in the House of Assembly and in the Senate. 70 consecutive years, consistently. That's what the electorate gave them. What did they do with the 70 years? What has happened? I would have thought if someone gave me 70 years, every problem should be solved in this country. We shouldn't have no more problems. We'd be dealing with problems. 70 years, Bahamians? That's many times. And the other party, 55 years. Come on. And we still got all kinds of problems. I mean, the problems are just piling up, piling up, piling up. And that's why I asked the question about major constituency problems and major national problems. They can't say they have the votes. They can't say they don't have the time. The people gave it to them. And every time there's been election, there's been shifting between these two parties for the last 25 years or so. So what is the electorate saying? What message are we saying to ourselves? Or what is it that's being conveyed to the parties? It's something we need to think about, Bahamians. Because right now, people are saying they are not sure how things will go. There's been a lot of voter apathy. Now, in our country, we normally have very high percentages for people going out to vote. Now, let me say to the people of this country, I think it is important that you fulfill your obligation as a Bahamian citizen to participate in the parliamentary democracy and become involved. Because see, even if you are a member of a particular party and that party puts up a candidate that you don't like, you don't have to vote for that particular person. And I don't know of constituents coming together to form a bloc and choose one of their own who live there and send that person in the House of Assembly. That can happen. Nothing say it can't happen, but are we willing to do it? Because you're dissatisfied with both parties. Can the constituents organize themselves into a strong fighting force? Yes, they can. But they have to be serious about it. And send one of their own to represent them in the House of Assembly. Nothing say it can't happen. But the question is, you have to work at it. The ground campaign is going to have to be very, very strong. The electronic campaign, yes, that's important also. But that ground campaign, on the ground, one-on-one with potential voters who are looking seriously at issues that affect them, and they'll give their response. So it depends on you. If you are an individual candidate, I don't know of any significance who is running in a particular constituency. We don't know yet. But I understand the PLP has put out its 41 persons. I believe the Free National Movement have approved 39. There are 2 more seats to be approved. And I understand the leader has not been nominated as yet. Let's put it that way. And there's, I think, the seat in Inagua. They haven't made a determination on that. So the leader of the party and then the seat in Inagua. So the thing is that we have to make some hard decisions. And don't be afraid to do that. Because fear causes you to freeze up. And you make very bad decisions when you do that. But you have to get on with it. The lines are open, 326-0272, 813-0271. That means we have a lot of work to do. Plenty of work to do. And we have to move quickly to get it done. So the lines are open, 326-0271, 326-0272. No, 326-0272. I made a mistake there. 813-0271. So I got to get the numbers right so you can make that call. And Bahamians, you ought not to be afraid of anything because you have a very strong constitution, which gives you a whole lot of rights, which are not evident in many of these countries in this Western Hemisphere. Just don't have it. But we have it in abundance. We're sitting on it. That's the thing that bothers me. That God has richly blessed us with a beautiful country. It has its share of problems. But we have to wait to solve the problems. They're not going to get solved just by saying, woe is me. Oh, no. You have to find some time for groundwork. So we need to move and get it done, Bahamians, because time is running out. Let me just say this to you. Do not wait until it is too late, Bahamians, because we may not be able to recover, just like Sudan, just like Venezuela, just like Haiti, just like the Dominican Republic, just like other neighboring countries right here in the Western Hemisphere and in other parts of the world where nations are falling down every single day. And you have tremendous upheaval. They're trying to make upheaval in Cuba now. And that's not a good thing. It's important that we make this thing go forward there. This is very important. That we look at our national issues, our constituency issues, and make some hard decisions, Bahamians. We need people who can solve these problems. You can't go another 52 years and have these problems around. What kind of nonsense is that? We need people who can solve them, Bahamians. Then the country can progress and move forward. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson. We'll be back after the break.
Stop playing.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Wake up every weekday on 99.5 FM.
This is Steve Harvey, your main man.
With a Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Let me ask you something, Unc, man. Famous as you are, do you ever just want to come with me and Tommy and just do some regular stuff?
Hell.
Cause you know, you really can't go nowhere.
He said, yeah, I like it.
Like, would you like go somebody's house, Unc, just have a domino, just play dominoes all night, Unc, just sit up and just, no?
No, not at nobody's house now.
What do you think we be playing at, Unc?
We ain't talking about you playing. We talking about who all gonna be over there.
Listen, Black.
That ain't gonna be fun for you, D.
Yeah.
Weekday morning from 6 to 10.
Let's go.
Over here on
99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry, all at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pocket now.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's Interest Arrears Waiver Program, available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Bahamian feel-good food in the right atmosphere. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you choose. It's the Cricket Club Restaurant at Haynes Point, West Bay Street. The food is off the chain. Bahamian breakfast. We talking stew cow, stew fish, and sheep tongue sauce. And for lunch, crab soup, okra soup, and pea soup and dumpling. And for dinner, they got mahi seafood platter or steak and shrimp, only $28.95 per person. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Cricket Club restaurant. Call 326-4720 for reservations. Oh, and don't forget, karaoke on Thursdays. And there's a live band, The Magic Touch, every Friday night.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-808-405 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the luggage store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you did.
Steve Harvey here from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Everybody knows that I love to chill out with great music. There's only one place you can get this one. Tonight is 7 p.m.
As soon as you clock off from work, make sure you lock right into me. I'm Liddy Green from The Quiet Storm, inviting you to come on over. I've got all of that R&B ear candy that you love. Plus, we'll engage in conversations inside a confession of love and so much more. And you never know who's going to drop by. It's The Quiet Storm, all getting on the way tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on Global 99.5. I'm Liddy Green from The Quiet Storm.
From East Street to Blue Hill Road, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and Global Radio 99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is the last part of the show. I thought I was just starting, but the man told me this is the last portion of the show. So Bahamians, we want you to call and participate. You got to express yourself. And not only just express yourself, you have to do some things, Bahamians, to make a difference. Some of you are just too quiet. While the country falls apart, you just sitting there being quiet. You wait till the whole thing go to the ground, like that fellow who went down in the excavator. Come on, man. You don't want that to happen in the Bahamas, would you? Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Then you realize you have a problem, Bahamians. We got too many issues that are unresolved already. You don't want to get worse than this. These are serious things, Bahamians. We are in serious times. And you need the grace of God. You need God to help you. You need God to bless you, so we can have a better country. We must not take this lightly, Bahamians, because the devil is very busy, like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And he's devouring some people with suicide, which is very foreign to the Bahamian people. And I still haven't gotten over yet, even though I understand it a little better now, the pressure. Because I feel some of this pressure too, you know. But ain't nothing going to pressure me to commit suicide. I like living. And God says, with the temptation, he will make a way of escape. Do you believe him? I wonder how many of you believe what God says. And why are you so fearful? Fearful of what? Fearful of who? Come on, Bahamians. God can't work with you if you got fear. but you got to fear God. But if you were the type person who don't trust God, well, then that's another kettle of fish. But Bahamians, this is the time for us to put our trust in God. Yes, we must work with our leaders. Yes, we must work with our representatives. But our confidence has to be in God. You heard the Prime Minister said in one recent tape, we played that this week. No, it was yesterday we played it. I think even earlier in the week. He said his government is going to rob, not going to rob anybody, and he doesn't want anyone to rob the government. And he made arrangements for them people to get their money in Grand Bahama and them people with the license to get their money. That's what the man told me. So the thing is that you have to listen carefully to what your leaders are saying and analyze it carefully, because you're going to hear some things you may not fully understand, but you need to find out what it is you don't fully understand. I heard Rick Fox talking about things he would like to see happen and so on, but I would add this. There's only one way to get this thing right, you know. It's a part of the Constitution. If we have an administration in power that follows the Constitution, all of our problems would be solved. Every single one would be solved. And you don't have to worry about that anymore. And you follow the Holy Bible, the Constitution and the Holy Bible. But do we have people like that? Are we ready for that, Bahamians? Are we ready to listen to God? Because that seems to be a major problem in this place now. These people go to church every Saturday and every Sunday. And we seem to be stuck. Can't get off it. Come on, Bahamians. God is not pleased with that. Like we keep ignoring all the time. Bahamians, we can't keep living like that. You're going to eventually see something break out that you're not going to be pleased with. I don't want to see it happen, because I'm here till the man come back. I don't want to see that happen in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. No matter how disgusting someone may be, the Lord could just take him out quietly. Just let him go rest. But don't break up the place. And then all of us catching hell. Like how they did in Ukraine. How they break up the place, man. Look at the hundreds of thousands of people who are dead because of war. And then people in Venezuela catching hell. Ain't nothing has benefited for them. Yes, you took one man out, you got somebody else, and then that's like a puppet government now. Because another man is hovering over that government. Now, you didn't want that in the Bahamas, eh? I don't think you want them kind of things in the Bahamas. You want to know that the government of the Bahamas must be in control. Yeah, let no other fellas take over. Now, when the people are prepared to make a change, they will do so. Now, listen, we've been having this change from one election to the next. No one administration has served 2 terms since Mr. Ingram in 1992 to 2002, from 2002 up to now. So looking about approximately 24 years, close to 24, 23. And Bahamians, we have been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What is the solution? It tells me, by the evidence, I'm looking at it, right on the surface of it, people are not satisfied. If you're not satisfied, then what is the course of action you're prepared to take? And God says, give righteousness a chance. That's all you have to do. And you will see rejoicing. people will be rejoicing about their situation because things will be solved. And you'll be happier than what you are now. People are mourning and they're crying out. You have people sit around the table signing papers. Papers stay right there and let you write crap on it. But nothing changes. So how we get like that? And then you had this problem with BPL and another company, that Bahamas Grid. Now, we got a number of companies that are providing electricity in this place. What has happened to BEC? BEC is out of the picture completely. When we had one electricity company, we seemed to have gotten better service. So I remember my father worked there, and they were very, very diligent in their work. But now we got a couple of companies that are supposed to be providing electricity. How we get mixed up like that? You got BPL, you got Pike, and they know who the hell they are, and you got Bahamas Grid. And some others, I understand, in the Family Islands and so on, say they provide electricity. How we get mixed up like that? See, these things, these agreements have to be looked at and studied, Bahamians, so we can have a clear understanding. And then Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Power Company down there, the fellas say they want to purchase that. So I don't know, Bahamians. What are we saying? Who is the authority to provide regulatory authority for the Grand Bahama area? I would have thought every single agreement that has been signed, even before we became an independent nation, those agreements must come in line with the new Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because the Constitution is supreme. The supreme law of the land. But when it comes to Grand Bahama, we got one court case running on. You got one, as reported that one is in London and one here. We're not hearing anything about that. It's like a secret veil over that. The point is, we're spending a lot of money. And people are suffering. You see how cold it was these past several days? A lot of people didn't have a warm place to sleep. Extremely cold. We're not accustomed to that. At least I'm not. I had 3 blankets to wrap myself in. 3! I wrapped myself tight. So I was very comfortable with that. But the point is, Bahamians, we have serious national problems, very serious constituency problems. Are we getting solutions? Yes or no? Or do we want to keep bickering and keep arguing over things, wasting time, man? While people are dying. People dying in the hospital too. When there was a strike, no emergency surgeries being carried out, and it was reported that one person passed out. One life is too many to lose. So when people's lives are in the balance, they could lose it because of carelessness on the part of some people. That's very shaky. That's very serious. I would want my life to be in the hands of people like that. We have very serious problems in this country. And Bahamians, we're going to need God to help us to fix it. Because it's quite evident that those who we have now, see, they're trying to do something. Like the police force say, they have these initiatives They're supposed to be fighting crime. And I asked the question, what major national problems relating to crime has the Royal Bahamas Police Force solved? And here are the clear-cut benefits that come to the Bahamian people as a result of these major crime problems having been solved. That's a simple question. The Commission should be able to answer that. We need to see some results as Bahamians. Where are the results? You can't be running around this initiative, that initiative. You're asking people to help you and give you information. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's all well and good. We got darkness on the street. You see how black it is out there? This is on the island of New Providence now. You can't see your fingers. They're so black. And I know those family islands are far worse than what we have in New Providence. No street lights, no reflectors on the ground. If they were to put reflectors on the ground, on the two sides, the left side and the right side, and then down the middle lane, even when the lights are off, we'll be able to see where we're going. But they're not doing that, baby. They will put some cheap paint on the thing. And then there are areas where they need to put pedestrian crossing. One is needed right here, Elizabeth Avenue and Shirley Street. One right there. We need one right there. When the light is off, then what? How are you going to cross the road? Because the people don't want to stop for you. Then you got one right, need one right there on East Street, just after you pass Jail Alley as you come up. That's a very difficult intersection to cross. We need a pedestrian crossing right there, right opposite the old Customs Warehouse. As you come up East Street, you pass Jail Alley, short distance away, pedestrian crossing need to be put there. But we don't have one. And the East Street traffic is very busy all the time. But they wouldn't put a pedestrian crossing for safety for young people like me. Huh? How do you get like that? We need one right here at Shirley Street and Elizabeth Avenue. We need one right there near Matamore Candy Kitchen. People won't go for the little candy and things like that. But I'm saying to you, safety for the people. We have too many problems with safety measures in this country. Too many. That's a major problem. But it ain't get solved yet. The man who run the construction thing say we need to deal with that. A whole man lost his life. Come on, man. All that fill and all that rock and thing went down on top of him. And the excavator he was on. And he perished. When things like that are happening, we need to take safety measures on the spot when that is occurring. You don't leave anything to chance. When I was buying national insurance, they were telling me about industrial accidents. Now, I ain't want to be in no industrial accident for nobody. That's why I just trust God to protect me. I cannot afford no industrial action. Now, of course, they say they'll pay, but that's fine. I'd rather them keep the pay. Let me keep my good health. Because it takes time to get healed, baby. Now that man is dead. His family is mourning for him. And he went right down in that deep hole. Bing! And all that stuff fall on top of him. Baby, that's something we need to think about. That is a shattering experience. And this young man, and I told you before on this show, we're losing too many young men. When we can stop this foolishness? When are we going to stop that nonsense, Bahamians? We already have a massive shortage of men. In fact, Scripture tells us 7 women to 1 man. Anything like that? Well, that's what we're heading for. Now we got some women that are dying too, but the men are disappearing. They're not even getting as young as I am. So what's going on, Bahamians? We got to fix that. Let's pray for our men. Then you got some who get tipsy and drinking alcohol and carrying on bad. And the children right there looking at daddy doing foolishness. Huh? These children want their daddy. You know, and I always use my example there. I always had daddy. And I wanted them to stay until Christ come back, both mommy and daddy. I say it was such a comfortable thing to have them around. Take all that heat for me and the other 11 in the house. Huh? Man, that's a good covering. And I think about them all the time. And a lot of things we were not exposed to because of the protective covering of mommy and daddy. And I think the parents, y'all got to cover these children, man. Don't leave them exposed to these wicked people. It's far worse today than it was back then. And parents, you have to take protective custody. Now, don't leave them with them other fellas now who say in their protective custody. Then they become unresponsive. Boy, that's a word that is used now. Unresponsive. What you mean unresponsive? That means he's dead. But how he died? And he's in your protective custody. Every time I think about that, I say, now, listen, I ain't fooling with that no more. I'm not willing to readily call them to a scene if I see young men out of control. Now, if I have to, and I'm compelled to do so, then that's different. But ordinarily, I won't do it. Because then when I hear an hour or two later, say, Professor, that same young man you call them fellas for, he's unresponsive. I say, what you talking about, unresponsive? And I just saw him over an hour ago. Say, he ain't there no more. He became unresponsive. I'm going to feel bad about that. So Bahamians, we have to get serious about this country. We must ask God for his guidance, ask him for his help. And I don't think we're doing that because we just seem to be so burdened down. You need to pray. The lines are open, 326-0272-813-0271. We got to get serious, Bahamians. You got to come out of this lazy attitude where you just sit and let things happen. Sit and let things go astray. When we start doing that, evil men and seducers wax worse and worse. They take over because you let them take over. You are not lifting a finger to say, no, you ain't going nowhere with that foolishness. We got to stop it, Bahamians. Too much sickness, too much death. Then every time you look around, there's an eating session. I told my sister this the other day. They have one right here. Where is it now? I think Elizabeth Avenue. Yeah, right down the road, Elizabeth Avenue on Bay Street. And they just have too much eating session. Now, I like to eat now. No, I'm not knocking people for eating. But the point is, too much eating isn't good for you. I have to tell myself that all the time. Huh? It'll give your stomach a bit of rest now. But the point is, our people are getting big and out of shape. And you create a lot of weight for that heart to weight. I know some people that are huge, but they wouldn't reduce the weight. I used to be big myself. But then my doctor told me I got to put on some more weight because I under 170. At 6'1", I'm under 170. I can't hit 170. I could hit 168, 169, but I hit 170. So the man tell me I need to put on some weight. I'm looking at it. But I ain't rushing nothing. I ain't going through that at all. But if I could get a pound or two, well, then fine. Then a pound or two, but I won't get too heavy. Bahamians, we have serious issues. Please support the show. The State of the Nation, I'm going to give you the email address. The State of the Nation 242@gmail.com. Please send me that email. Say, Professor, I want to support the show. And we'll give you the details on that. And you put your phone numbers on the email. Some of them, I just look at them, that number, call right there, bing, it's done. We have to move quickly, Bahamians, because we have a nation to save, okay? We can't let this good nation like the Commonwealth of Bahamas go down. That's all we have. It won't be like them other fellas, man. They broke up their country, and then they want to say they want to come here talking about they want to be Bahamian. We any crap like that. You can't let them kind of people take over what the Lord gave us this country. This is our country. And God said, I want the Bahamas for Bahamians. Just like he said, I want the land of Canaan for the children of Israel. Drive those people out. God said, get rid of them. They're not in this land. Drive them out. Wherever they go, that's their business. But they can't stay in the land of Canaan. The Bahamas is for Bahamians only. Bahamians, let's take up our rightful place, okay? This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Okay, and of course, open line is on Friday. We will have open line. You can discuss anything you're willing to discuss. We always do that on Friday. And we'll go from there. But Bahamians, do not forget, send me that email, the State of the Nation, 242@gmail.com. This has been Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. This is the end of the show. I guess we're going to be back after the break. See, I forgot that. My producer told me this is the last part of the show. Have a pleasant afternoon. Pray for the nation and ask for God's divine intervention. Don't you ever forget that, Bahamians. Please listen to God. When he tells you put righteous people in the House of Assembly, don't make no mistake this time. Righteous people. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. I want to see rejoicing in every single constituency in this country. But you have to have a righteous representative, okay? That's the only way it can happen. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.5 Global FM.